during the day because I had to re-plug everything in for my girl Isis. So here's what. On a line, these are straight lines, the slope never changes. So we're going to talk about some real things. We're going to talk about what rate of change means, right? And rate of change is this. And you're going to write this onto your notes here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to use the real pen. The rate of change is how much something increases. Oh, I'm going to spell that word right. Increases or decreases. So let me give you an example in real life. If you have a job and you're making $15 an hour, you make $15 an hour if you work 1 hour. You'll get 30 bucks if you work 2 hours. You'll get 45 if you work 3 hours. That's slope. That means every hour you work more, you get a little bit more money. Sometimes slope is good. You get more money. Sometimes slope is bad. Right now, my daughter had COVID in June, and one of the things that can happen with COVID is it makes your hair fall out. So she's got super thick hair, so you never know. But like literally, I can't use her brush because every day she's losing like 1,000 strands, right? And so today is 1,000. Tomorrow she'll have lost 2,000 over 2 days. Thursday, like she's thinking, please God, this needs to stop because I will not have any hair left. So sometimes slope is good. It makes good things happen. Sometimes it's bad, right? On a line, we refer to this is called the slope, but we use this letter. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't use an S or an L or even a P. We use an M, right? We use an M, and that's what slope is. It's how much something's going up or down. In real life, you don't have to write this, but we're going to learn how to do slope in 4 ways. We're not going to do the first one today. We're going to work on that tomorrow. But the first way we are going to talk about at some point is going to be in real life situations. We also can do it from a graph. We're going to do that today. It's the easiest. If you have a finger and you can count, you can do slope. We're going to do 2 points, and I'm going to show you a Mrs. Tarantino shortcut that my other classes were like, why didn't we learn this before? And I'm like, because I'm super lazy and I think of shortcuts. And we're going to do it from a table, which is actually very easy. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is in real life. See, Terza's not even here because I actually put her in the notes. Terza, I hope you're watching. So Terza is mean, and she makes freshman girls give her money. She gets $5 per freshman. When we talk about slope in real life, we are using this word a lot, the word per, and you can write that down somewhere on your paper. Per is slope, per hour, per day, per mile, per freshman, right? If she wants a lot of money, she's going to bully a lot of girls. If she wants just a little money, she'll just bully 1 or 2, right? So per is slope. That's how much you're getting per activity, right? We will do this more tomorrow, but today we're going to talk about the math part. Now, again, I'm going to show you some things that are going to freak you out a little bit, but when I show you the shortcuts, you're going to be like, hey, that's not so bad. So the first thing is, now I kind of hate when people do this, when math people use hard words to describe an easy situation. So when we talk about slope, we're talking about a fraction, right? Slope is written as a fraction. It's always a fraction, right? And there are the number on the top and a number on the bottom. And math teachers say vertical change, like that's something fancy. But then they use another word, and that word is dumb as well. You learned it as the word rise. I hate that word. I like a much easier word. Up. The up goes on top. That's what goes on top of slope, the up part. And the scary word horizontal change and the scary word that teachers use, run, remember rise over run? Do you know what the better word for that is? Across. I don't know about you, up on top, across on bottom. And here's how I remember, it's up on the top because up goes up, right? So the up numbers go on the top, the across numbers go on the bottom, right? It's really easy. This remains the same for any 2 points. We're going to do this, and you're going to get to make choices, and it should give you the same answer, even if you do it slightly different from me. Your answer should be the same. And it's written as a fraction. One more time, fraction. And you know what we need to do? We need to put it in simplest form. That means sometimes you have to reduce it, right? If you get 4/8, you need to make that as 1/2, right? You can do that. That's not scary. And the variable is m.
The slope is written as?
Slope is written as a fraction in simplest form. Okay. None of that really means anything. That's just some like official stuff. What I really care about is this. How can you find the slope? Now the easiest way we're going to start with is a way that always works. And I want to be really honest with every person in here. When we take a quiz, if you panic, you can always get a piece of graph paper from me and do it this way. This way works forever and ever. Amen. You never have to do the math way if you don't want to. You just need graph paper. And if you have a finger and a graph and you can count, you can do slope. And it's super easy. Here's what it is going to be. It's going to be the up on the top and the across on the bottom. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with number 1. We need 2 dots, right? So we want to pick good dots. We don't want to be goofy. We don't want to pick ones that are halfway. We don't want to pick ones that are off our graph. Look, I'm picking this dot right here. That's a good dot. And I'm picking this dot up there. Nice and easy. 2 dots. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count up to get part of my slope, and I'm going to count over or across to get the other part. Get your finger ready. Get it on your graph. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went up 7. And now I'm going to go across. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what? You found the slope. That's it. That's it. And the only thing, a couple things I want to make clear. If I'm heading this way, it's positive, right? Because these are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Sometimes I'm going to go this way toward the door, and it will be negative. But I always start low and then go high every time, and I never get it wrong. So let's try the next one. Now you have some choices. Let me start with your first choice. You need to find 2 good dots. Now you could pick this dot and this dot. That would be awesome. You could pick this dot and say this dot, and that would be awesome. Or you could even pick this dot and this dot over here. You're going to get the same answer, but sometimes you might have to reduce. That's the only difference. So here we go. I start low. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go up 1 jump. Up 1 jump. And now I'm going to go across. 1, 2, 3. But do you see how I went across this way? So it would be -3. Now, what if you said, Miss T, I use different dots? I'm going to show you that is totally okay. Watch what I'm going to do here. I am going to use different dots. What if instead I used this red one, this red one, and this guy up here? What if I just thought, okay, those are easy. Watch what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, up 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, -9, but it reduces to the same thing. Same thing. Doesn't matter what you pick. Everything else I do from tonight, this is your fallback. If you don't like what we're doing tonight, the math way and it panics you, get a piece of graph paper, put it on the graph, start low, go high. Yes.
So the 3 is you going up, and then -9 is across.
Exactly. Up, over, across, that's what slope is.
And then the one you did the little curve thing where you instead of just going straight up, like you are right now, it's going straight up to the red.
Right.
Like you can either do that, like go straight up, or do like the.
Always go up first and then across second. We want it really stable. And that's why they're lines. Because none of these will have curves on them. So up first and then either to the left or to the right. You pick, right? Everybody cool on that. Okay. We're not going to do 3 and 4. We're going to save those till tomorrow or the next day. But now I want to talk about what happens if you don't like graphing. You don't want to graph it. You don't have graph paper. You want to do it another way. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 things, and I need you to listen really carefully. There is a formula. I'm going to give it to you. If you learned this last year and you got it deep in your brain and you like it, use it. But me, I make mistakes on it, so I don't use it. So I'm going to show you the official formula, and then I'm going to show you the Mrs. Tarantino way. My way is valid mathematically. It's not like I'm cheating. I just found a way that's easier for my brain to understand. You pick you. So the first thing is, I'm going to have you write down the formula if you want to use it. The formula for slope, you might have seen it. Remember this guy? I know. So here's what would happen with me. I'd get my X's, 1's, and my X2's all confused. I would. And so I'm not a big fan. So I'm going to do this one time and one time only. I'm going to do it with the formula. If you like this and this works for you, if you learned it and you feel like, Miss Tia, I'm good on this. I love you. Do it. So if you are that person, this is probably what you did. Now, some of you can just check out for a minute if you're like, but I don't like the formula. Just think of a happy thought for a minute. So here's what you would do officially. You would go x1, y1, x2, y2, and you're going to put them in your little formula. So you would go like this. You would say 3 minus 1, and then you would say 4 minus 1, and you would get 2 over 3. Now I want you to remember that. That is a perfect way to do it. If you are, there's a word for this called algorithmic. If you're one of those people who feels like, give me a formula, I can plug and crank, knock yourself out. It's awesome. Yes. Now, I'm going to show you, Chris, a way I think you'll like better. Okay. So, I like it better. So, remember, the answer we're looking for is 3 over 2. So, here's what I'm telling you. Telling you what the formula says. The formula says, so do some subtracting. Take 1 point and do some subtracting. And if you remember what I've been telling you so long is subtract just means do the opposite to the second guy. That's all subtract ever means. It says do the opposite to the second guy. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take, let me go ahead and erase stuff because I don't want to have too much stuff where you're like, what the hell is she talking to? I want you to take one of these 2 points and make it the first guy. And you know what's nice? It doesn't matter which one you want to start with. I'm going to do that one just because. But you could start with the other one if you want. We're going to call him the first guy. 4, 3. Have I lost anyone there? No? Now I'm going to take the second point, right? I'm going to take this guy right here, and I am going to make him the second point. 1, 1. So far, so good. Now what the formula says is subtract the second guy. Do the opposite to the second guy. So I look at the second guy and I change his signs. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to say, oh, negative, negative. Super easy. And now I just put them together. Watch what happens. 3 take away 1 is 2. 4 take away 1 is 3. And what I do, the very last thing, we've been talking about slope. The y stuff goes on the top, and the x stuff goes on the bottom, and you are done. That is it. Talk to me.
Let's say those two ones were originally negatives, but they turned to positives.
Yes, yes, that's it. Now watch, want to see something even crazier? What if you said, but Mrs. Tarantino, some kid tried to trick me. He goes, I started with the other pair, and it didn't work. And I said, yeah, it does. Totally works. Remember, that's the answer we're going for. We're going for that answer. What if you said, well, I'm going to go 1, 1 and 4, 3. Does it still work? Here's what we do. We change the second guy. So I'm going to grab my little changer pen. Change, change. 1 take away 3 is -2. 1 take away 4 is -3. Make it into a fraction. The y's go on the top. -2 over -3. What happens to two negatives? Same answer. Same answer. So easy. So easy. Yes.
So this looks like the new stuff we're doing.
This is it. Yes? So, let's try the next one together. You guys ready? Okay, everyone ready? If you think you can do the next one on your own, either do it with the formula. Here comes my way. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to start -2, comma 4, 10, comma -2. Anyone that confuse you? I just wrote the prop. I just wrote the points. You know what's nice about this method? My points don't get confused. I don't flip this one with this one and this one with this one. Now the only thing you got to know is change the second guy. No matter what he is, change him. Talk to me, Chris.
If there's only one negative though, that means
So tell me, what does this guy become?
-10.
And what does this guy become?
+2.
Awesome. So look what I get.
And then that turns into 6, and the other one turns into positive.
You only do that.
-12, but
Yep. Now watch. 6 over -12. Can I reduce that?
yeah.
6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 12 how many times?
Yes, sir, Chris. Yes, sir, Chris.
I got it. It feels like I'm a... Everyone, do 3 on your own. Try number 3.
Yes, sir, Chris.
Now, some people might say, Miss T, I got a negative on the top instead of the bottom. And my answer is, it doesn't matter. That negative can go on the top, it can go on the bottom, it can go in the middle. If you have 2 of them, they cancel out. Yeah. Try number 3. You guys are doing so good. Scare you off. Yes. Oh, 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 12 two times. 1 over 2.
Oh.
1 time. Yeah. That makes sense. There you go.
No. 6 negative. We do some geometry.
You did, but you used the formula. You used y minus y over x minus x. And I'll be honest, Jackson, I mix them up. And then I'm screwed. Like, I put my y1 where my y2, like, if you saw me up here, I have to totally think about it. And this method, I can just blow through it. Yeah. Are you, Chris, you walking me through it?
Yeah.
You want to do it?
I do number 4.
Okay, do 4. Do you want a pen or do you want it your finger? Okay, I don't know. You're going to do it, and we're going to do it together. We got this. Okay, so Chris is doing it. He starts.
So we got.
Yes, sir, Chrissy.
Yes.
Oh.
Beautiful. Awesome.
And we got. So we got -2. We turn that into a +2.
Oh, look at him changing it right away.
And then since that's a +4, we turn that into -4.
Awesome. So good. Now put them together. Put everything together.
And now putting this together is going to be a -4.
Yep. I think we're running out of space there. Perfect. That's okay.
And then that's a 12.
Now write it as a fraction.
And now we got a -4 up here.
Yes.
And then we got a 12 down here.
So good. Can you reduce it?
And 4 goes into 12 3 times.
So 1 over. So negative. So on the top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right over here.
Yep.
So it'd be 3.
Oh, so 4 goes into 4 how many times?
1.
So negative 1 on the top, and 4 goes into 12 how many times?
3.
Put it, beautiful, put
So
it.
it'd be 3.
Step away, show everyone your work. How do you do? Lovely. On fire, babe, on fire. Hey, I'm taping. Okay, last thing to tell you. You know what happens when I have a big bunch of numbers? They are just points. They are just a ton of points, and you know how many you need? You need 2. So pick any random 2 you want. If it was me, I don't like the negatives. So I would probably use this guy and this guy. And I would say 3, 7, 9, 5. And since it's a line, it doesn't matter which 2 I pick. But don't be dumb. Don't ever pick the number 537. It's a dumb number, right? Pick numbers you like. Change. And here's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get negative 6 on the there. I'm going to get 2 here, just like Chris showed me, 2 over negative 6. I'm going to reduce it to 1 over negative 3. I'm done. So don't let the many numbers fool you. Pick 2 you like.
So I can like literally pick any of the numbers.
Any pair. Any
So
pair.
I have to like
So in other words,
negative 9 and then 11.
it could be that pair.
Or,
It could be this pair. It could be this pair. It could be this pair. Pick 2 pairs.
and then once you get those 2 pairs, do the same thing with them.
Yes, because it's a line, and you're just picking 2 different points. That's it. Yes, talk to me.
Sorry, not to sound like annoying, but
You're not annoying.
slow it. Oh.
I can't because we're almost done.
Oh.
I was only rushing because you are right. I am.